Previous video you learned about using if statements, and I promised that I'd give you a little problem to start off now in the next video. And so here is your problem. I'd like you to pause the video for a second and see if you can solve this problem. Okay, let's give this a shot. So I'm going to erase this action right here, and we're going to start off with the amount of money we have on hand, which is F cash on hand equals $5.99. And you're supposed to check if you have more than $5, then say purchase successful. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say if F cash on hand is greater than or equal to, because exactly equal to is just fine, $5, then we'll say alert, so a pop-up box to the screen, purchase successful. Awesome sauce. All right, let's see what happens. Purchase successful. All right, and then just kind of as a preview of what's up ahead, instead of just doing if, we could also say else, and we can do anything that doesn't fit with this qualification right here. So if we're not greater than or equal to 5, meaning that we're less than 5, then let's do some other message. And in this case, you don't have enough money, so we'll say alert insufficient funds, and I'll go ahead and hit save. Now things are good for now, but what if I lowered the amount of money that I have to $4.99 and hit save? Ooh, insufficient funds, bad news. Okay, I'd like to have a little bit of fun with you for just a second. See if you can solve yet another challenge problem, except this time instead of programming, I would like you to look at this script here and determine what you think will happen. So pause the video until you have selected A, B, C, or D. So I think a lot of people are tempted to go with C. Let's go ahead and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and bring it over here and put it on top of that. I'll hit save, and it says you are Iron Man, which was perhaps not expected because right at the top we said you're Peter Parker. And then we click OK, and the code says you're Spider-Man. Wait a second. How can we be both Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Tony Stark, Iron Man? Well, if you look at this real carefully, you'll notice that this is not a comparison operator, nor is this one. A comparison operator will have something like 2 equal signs or 3 equal signs. And this one just has an assignment operator, which is equal. So this one not only assigns it, but captures the fact that the assignment happened successfully and it's not really doing a comparison. And so basically both things come out to true. So just know that it's real easy to make syntactical errors when you're programming, and when you do that, you'll get results that you were not expecting at all. And so we might want to actually just clean this up a little bit right now. So if I put double equal signs right there and double equal sign right there, and then I hit save, you're Spider-Man. Now we feel a lot better about things because that's what we were hoping for. Okay, I'm going to walk through a couple different sample problems now. So let me bring this little problem over here. So this, what I have right here, is called pseudocode. Sometimes when we're planning out our logic in code, rather than writing it out completely ahead of time, sometimes it's good to be thinking about the high-level issue, especially if it's going to be a relatively complicated set of logic as part of our program. Now, this one is just meant to be kind of a light-hearted idea, but I'm going to talk about dating over the course of the next 3 problems. Hopefully that doesn't offend anybody. This isn't meant to apply to any real person. It's just meant to exemplify how you could do some logic and have a little bit of fun with it at the same time. Okay, so imagine that we're talking to a guy right now and we're trying to find out if the girl loves you or not. And according to her logic, if your age is 18 or older, then she loves you. Otherwise, she loves you not. All right, so there's our not real syntax, but pseudocode that we're going to then put into actual code. Let me go ahead and just grab this right here, and I'm going to put it into this block. And this is going to break our code as it is, but if I do a control / then it's commented out in JavaScript and it's not going to create any errors. All right, now I can see it on the page and I could start tapping out this code to figure this out. All right, so let's put this in real code now. I'll say, first I need to declare a variable. Let integer your age equal 18. And then let's do the code. If your age is greater than or equal to 18, we'll say alert, she loves you. And then else. So previously we were just focusing on single if statements, but we can do relatively complicated statements with else and else if, and we'll get further into that in just a little bit. But for now, we'll just have 2 conditions. Either you're greater than 18 or you're not, and if you're not, then she loves you not, and we'll do a little unhappy face. Okay, so we'll do a little save, pops up, she loves you, yay! Unless, of course, you're 17. And then you need to get a little older. Oh, how sad. Okay, let's go ahead to the next problem. Let's see how this one looks. Okay, problem number 2. So this one was an open-minded person. This one's maybe a little bit more picky, but this one says, if your age is 22 or older, or you're a college grad, then she loves you, otherwise she loves you not. Ooh, okay, this sounds a little bit more complicated. That's why we're using pseudocode, so we can put it in there and then figure it out. All right, so I'm going to paste that in, and I'll do a control / or a command / depending on which type of computer you're on. All right, so your age is, if your age is 22 or older, oh, now we also need to figure out if you're a college grad. All right, so let's do this. Let Boolean college grad equal, and we'll say true, then she loves you. All right, let's go ahead and change this. So this one says, if your age is greater than or equal to 22, and then there's this or statement in here. So this is the symbol, these 2 vertical bars, for the logical or, meaning that if whatever is on the left or the right of those bars evaluate to true, then the whole thing is true. It only has to be just one of them, and then it evaluates true. So let's go ahead and say check if B college grad equals true. All right, so this is going to look good already, we know. Let's see what happens. If you're, oh, I put an assignment and not a comparison. All right, let's try that again. There we go. She loves you. Okay, but what I said was that with this logical or, only one of these things needs to be true. So let's make both of them false. I'll say that you're not yet 22 and you're not a college grad. Neither one of those is true. So it says she loves you not. All right, maybe you're sticking around in school for a little bit, and so you've hit that bar. You've exceeded 22. So this part is going to be true, but this true part is not true because you're still not a college grad. It says she loves you. Okay. Or what if you graduated early? You're 16. Okay, that's a little creepy. Maybe let's do 18. All right. No, not too early. Just 21. You have an early birthday. That's all. And college grad is true. You hit save, and there you go. She loves you. Okay, so the idea of this logical or operator again is that as long as the things on either side are true, you're in good shape. And if you wanted to make it look a little bit prettier, you could wrap these comparisons in parentheses. Now the syntax cleaner that I have running in my code editor is going to strip away some of that. Not because I'm making it do that, but because it's just a default setting. But as long as you don't install something to clean up your code, it would leave that there, and that might help you more clearly see the logic that's happening there. But for me, when I hit save, it strips that back out again. Now, it's not strictly necessary that I write exactly equal to true right here because this is already true. So as a shortcut, some people will just kind of go like that. And that'll work exactly the same way. Okay. All right, let us go on to another problem. What if she okay, let's just say that in our next iteration, I'll bring this over here a little bit. We're just going to change that same problem. Let's just say that she's like, well, or is not good enough for her. Let's just say that she wants both. All right, we just make a slight modification here, and instead of the logical or, we'll do the logical and, which is 2 ampersands. So now both of these things need to be true and not just one of them. All right, so let's bump this up to 22, and I hit that, and it says she loves you, you're in good shape. So both of them have to be true. If I reduce your age a little bit and only one of them is true, then you're not in good shape anymore. Okay, let's go on to the last problem. Here's the last problem. It says, imagine that she wants you to be 22 or older and a college grad, and you have to have all your hair, and you're tall, and then notice how I put it in parentheses. So it has to be all of these things together, or just being super rich, either one, and then she loves you, otherwise she loves you not. Okay, now again, this is just to demonstrate how logic can be a little bit difficult to express, but you can do it. So let's watch that happen. Okay, so we need to do something, a comparison with the age. College graduate, have all your hair. So let's say let Boolean have all your hair. All right, and you're tall. I think half the male world right now is starting to feel pretty self-conscious about all these conditions. Be tall, and then just say let Boolean rich equal false. Okay, so I've captured all the variables from the problem. Let me just put a little line break here and make sure I got everything. Oops. All right, now let's put this into our if statement with our comparisons. So I'll say if your age is greater than or equal to 22, and you're a college grad, and you have all your hair, let's do so and you have all your hair, and you're tall, so we got all those things in there. So if any one of those things is not true, then you're going to fail. Before I go on to the next part, let's just go ahead and test that. So right now, all of these are true, so it should evaluate to true. Now let's change one of these things so it's not true. So you've got 3 things that are true and 1 thing that is false, separated by all these logical ands. We hit save, and it says she loves you not. So it's working as expected, okay? But let's set this off and say, okay, this is one group of things that could evaluate to true or false, and then we're going to do this logical OR again that says be rich is exactly equal to true. So if just this is true or all of this is true, then she loves you. So we hit save and it says she loves you. And why is that? Because everything over here on the left was true, even though the thing on the right was, well, even though the thing on right doesn't match up for you right now. But if you were 21, too young, okay, now there's neither condition that holds true, so we can't get that first thing. But then if we change your financial condition from rich to not rich to actually rich, so we'll say even though you're not 22 yet, you do have some good money, you had a nice internet startup, then we'll say she loves you. Okay, so we have successfully demonstrated then how you could use these if-else-if statements to do some relatively sophisticated things. And with that, I'm going to stop with if statements for today. Hope you had a good time.